Welcome to the channel. Today I want to talk about a heavy but crucial topic: Britain's legacy of slavery. Let's start with some facts. Britain enslaved over 3 million Africans. For centuries, British ships sailed from ports like Liverpool, Bristol, and London, carrying goods to Africa, human beings to the Americas, and slave-produced sugar, cotton, and tobacco back to Britain. This wasn't a side note in history, it was the engine of Britain's rise as a global superpower. Entire industries were built on the profits of human suffering. When slavery was finally abolished in the 1830s, the British government paid the equivalent of billions of pounds in today's money, but not to the enslaved. They compensated the slave owners for their loss of property. The descendants of the enslaved got nothing, and that debt, paid out to former slaveholders, was so vast that British taxpayers only finished paying it off in 2015. So when people say slavery is ancient history, remind them its consequences are still alive today, in wealth gaps, racism, structural inequality, and inherited trauma. So how should we respond to this legacy? First, tell the full truth. Britain's story often starts with "we abolished slavery," not "we built an empire on it." This must change. We need honest education in schools, in public institutions, in the media, about how deeply slavery and colonialism shaped the UK. Second, acknowledge the harm. The descendants of the enslaved are still dealing with the ripple effects: poverty, displacement, underfunded communities, discrimination. True acknowledgement means listening to those communities. It means recognizing that history isn't just about the past. It's about how that past shaped our present. Third, return what was taken. Start with the stolen artifacts, African cultural treasures still locked away in British museums. But also look at wealth profits, land, and opportunity extracted from enslaved peoples and colonized nations. Reparations can take many forms: financial investment, education, healthcare, infrastructure, and more. But the point is justice, not charity. Fourth, dismantle the structures built on slavery. We can't change the past, but we can change the systems it left behind. Racist policing, education gaps, health disparities, economic inequality. These aren't accidents, they're outcomes of a system rooted in exploitation and violence. Tearing down statues is symbolic. Tearing down racist systems can bring real change. Finally, make space for healing and resistance. This history is painful, but there's power if we can face it. Communities have been resisting and surviving for centuries. From uprisings on plantations to civil rights movements today, support those movements, elevate those voices. This isn't about guilt, it's about responsibility, about building a future that's fairer, because we were honest about the past. So how should we respond to Britain's legacy of slavery? We face it, we own it, and we work to repair what was broken. Because justice isn't history, it's now. If you like this content, please consider subscribing to my channel and share my videos with your friends. Thank you for spending your time here. I really appreciate it.